Just a little while ago, I spoke to CBS News special correspondent and the host of the NFL Today, James Brown. Mr. Mayor, I want to thank you. I asked him if the NBA does have the power to take this team from Sterling.
The big question is whether or not there's a legal leg to stand on. I would think, much like private clubs, there is a code of conduct and agreement amongst those private owners, if you will. They being the subcommittee of 10 and Adam Silver, the commissioner, they have the number of votes to try to make it happen. My question is there a legal leg to stand on?
Well, let's just say, what if they can't force him out? What will the players do?
I think the players made it perfectly clear, in as much as they were going to boycott if in fact nothing had been done to this nature, to the degree that Adam Silver has done, the commissioner of the NBA, that no free agent would go and sign to play with the Los Angeles Clippers. That's still very much on the table.
What do you think the impact would be on the city of Los Angeles?
You know what, Los Angeles has dealt with an awful lot. I think it would be very hurtful to the city if, in fact, the right resolution isn't put in place, and that is an effective end to what the NBA is attempting to do. I'm more concerned from a big picture standpoint, Bob, hoping that this will force meaningful conversation, not in homogenous groups, but with inclusive and diverse groups to really get the core of this. This continues to be the third rail of American politics from my humble perspective, and it's sickening that this has been going on this long, and prudent folks, intelligent folks, mature folks can't have a meaningful dialogue objective.
How deep does racism run? You know, for one thing, there are, well, I guess 75% of the players, or nearly that many, 3/4 of them in the NBA are African American. Yet there's only one black majority owner. Do you see, we have now a lot of celebrities, including Oprah, who says maybe she might try to buy this ball club if it becomes for sale. How important would it be to basketball to have a minority ownership of this?
Oh,
this
it would be pretty significant, and you'd like to see it across the major sports, period. Across the three major sports, for sure, where there's a large population. You know, it's many people, I think, and I use this word advisedly, are colored by the fact that there are so many African American players who are making humongous salaries, and people use income as maybe the most weighty factor to determine whether or not racism exists. That's not the case. It's in the heart, and it's also justified by the numbers that you just quoted. Till we see more representation across the board at the decision-making levels, ownership levels, we truly haven't made the kind of progress that we'd like to make. Because I firmly believe out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And what Mr. Sterling spoke really colored and influenced the decisions that he's made with his organization, and certainly reflective across a number of sports organizations.
You mentioned this briefly, talking about a serious dialogue, but what would you like to see happen now? Where does all this go?
It would be nice if in the public square you could have more discussions like you're having today, and with the august panel that you're putting together to discuss this. But not just discussions, but to see something meaningful result from it. To the degree that you talked about the dearth of minority ownership at the professional sports league level, you'll know that there's been progress when those numbers have been improved substantially. Don't be fooled by the numbers, which reflect progress in terms of the number of African American players in the NBA, 2/3 in the NFL, but the real progress is in the front office and at the ownership levels. And until you see that take place, we're going to continue to see these kinds of situations percolate, whether it's at one end of the spectrum with Mr. Cliven Bundy in Nevada, or whether it's a Donald Sterling at the NBA ownership level.
All right, JB. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bob.